thank you to our loyal fan base for making it to the second episode.
Not cancelled yet.
We upgraded our setup.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Unfortunately, due to travel expenses to Lublin, we could not afford maintaining the budget from last time. But safe to say, wszystko będzie dobrze. Will be okay by the next episode, I hope.
Yeah, probably because it's our last, so we should.
Oh yeah, it is our last episode.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, we scheduled our cancellation for the third episode, so it was nice to have you all here.
Big things are coming.
Yeah, but to be honest, our first episode went great.
Much better
think.
than
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have expectations because I've never done YouTube like that before. But
for a first episode, we blew up, baby.
yeah, that's true. Man, for real. My friends were watching that shit, and I wasn't even asking them to. They were like sending me like videos of me bullshitting on like us yapping together.
Were
That was
your
beautiful.
parents watching it though?
No, fuck no.
That's the real stuff.
No.
That's...
My parents don't engage with my social media career, let's say. My mom comments GIFs sometimes on my Instagram posts, but besides that, I think that's the maximum interaction I get from family.
My dad made a a Facebook account. Oh my god, my dad on YouTube, that would be something, but no. He made his first Facebook account at the age of 54, and...
Man, so he's fully acoustic until 54, huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And it's scary because he's like a baby crawling around the internet. He accepts every friend invitation as long as it comes from a woman. And then he asks me, who is that? How do I know her?
Me on Instagram like 2 years ago.
And I'm telling him, I don't know that. You accepted the friend invitation. Am I supposed to know? How do you know this woman? She looks nice though, so he also, he told nobody in the family he's making the Facebook account, and just randomly he appeared on there.
Mm-hmm.
And his profile picture is him with a random dog that
Not even,
nobody in the family knows this dog.
It's not owned by anybody that
No,
is
we don't
known.
know. Nobody knows who the fuck the dog is. So the whole family is calling my mom and asking, "Oh, you got a dog?" And Darek got a Facebook account at the same time?
Big news.
Big news for everybody. Darek is on Facebook and he's got a dog. No, he does not. He was actually...
His name is Darek?
Darek, yes.
That's a nice name, I like it. What's it short for? Dariusz?
Dariusz, yes.
Man, you don't hear strong names like that in English anymore, man.
You see, that's funny because I think that Derek is an American name.
Derek, yeah.
Derek is also, from what I know from the internet, it's like a very black name, apparently.
Derek, it's split in half, I would say, because Derek evokes an image of that a sort of Kevin would, a monster energy punching holes in the wall, because you can do that in America. You know, that type of... Derek is kind of like that, but at the same time, it can be an African-American name, I'd say. Yeah.
So I think it's very confusing for Americans that in Poland, Darek is like your dad, basically.
Yes,
That's the most dead name.
It's an old guy's name, yeah.
I don't think I know anyone named Darek who's like less than 45. Yeah. Or even maybe more.
You know, I saw Janusz Palikot in the unisex bathroom in Lublin Główne.
What were you doing with Janusz Palikot at the unisex bathroom in Lublin Główne?
I was after a train ride in Warsaw, and they had a makeshift unisex bathroom because the women's bathroom had some issue, so they decided just to combine the male and female bathroom.
A radical idea.
Yeah, a radical idea. I'm glad they at least had the decency to fucking cover up the urinals. Like I'm sure like no woman wanted to walk in and just see meats out, like, you know, pissing just out in the open. So I'm glad they did that at least. But then I walked out, and lo and behold, I see the man himself just chatting up the border lady that takes the money from you for the bathroom, and I'm like, why does he look so familiar? Why does he look so familiar? And then the name Janusz popped up in my head, and I was like, no way, that's him. That's the guy that made Buch and whatever.
Did you heard about Janusz Palikot first when I was explaining the Polish politics to you on the huge whiteboard?
No. I had been following. He was like the first politician that I ever heard of. I mean, I think he's not even a politician now anymore, right?
No, he's an entrepreneur too, and also a felon.
Oh, good lord!
He was in jail for a couple of months, I think, recently.
What for?
Right? Yeah, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
Yeah, he was for fraud, I think. Something with his business.
Oh shit! Tax fraud? I fuck with tax fraud.
Not tax fraud. I think he
Or no, I have a business in Poland. I do not fuck with tax fraud.
We do not fuck with
my
fraud.
entire operation here as a human being in every sense of the word.
Clean.
Yes, is legal.
The books are pristine.
Yes.
No, it was something with investors. I think he lied to investors. I don't want to. Yeah, probably. Jamie agrees.
Okay. So no speculation, but that's the general idea.
No
of what
speculation.
Happened. Okay.
So he was in jail recently.
Oh shit, okay.
And for all our very confused English-speaking viewers who have no idea what are we talking about, he's just a Polish politician.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore, but I'd say he has a interesting social media.
He's an interesting person. His most famous moment as a politician was when he was waving a dildo in Sejm to make a point. And then I always knew about this story since I was a little girl, and then I discovered that it was actually a very important court case that he was commenting on. Everybody clowned on him, but he was trying to bring attention to actual sexual harassment that was happening in Lublin police station.
Oh,
so
shit.
It was serious shit, and everybody was clowning on him.
Damn.
Well, maybe waving a dildo around wasn't the best way to bring attention to the case then, I guess.
But whatever gets their attention, maybe.
But
right?
Still, I didn't know what the case was about. I only knew about him waving a dildo around.
Dildo moment.
Then he was a vodka producer.
Yeah.
In his entrepreneur phase.
Yes, he made the beer and the vodka.
The beer and the vodka.
Yeah.
And it was the whole marketing around that was so fucking cringy.
And it smelled like weed. That was also one of the
was
things.
it the point, really?
I mean, that's what I heard a lot of the times, that when you opened the beer, at least, it would smell like weed. And
just like every perła you've ever drank.
Yeah, literally.
Every perła chmielowa.
You have the exact same effect with a green bottle of perła chmielowa.
It was definitely catering to the weed heads, and we are so cool drinking this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Every middle-aged guy that tries to be cool with weed, but also that tries to be cool and young, they always have this fuck-ass glasses with colored frames.
That's right.
Every one of them.
That's right.
Janusz Palikot, Kuba Wojewódzki.
No idea who the man is.
Oh, you're so lucky, man.
Why is he a character?
Oh God, is he like a Polish Joe Rogan? There's too many Polish Joe Rogans that we keep talking about. No, he's a TV personality.
Okay.
And what were we talking about, Danny? No idea.
Pissing in the same bathroom as Janusz.
Pissing in the same bathroom.
Janusz, Polish names. Dad.
Yeah. Oh God. Let's focus.
Let's move on. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we forgot to mention this, by the way. This episode, filmed in Lublin, as you know, is being filmed in my barbershop as a studio.
Are we sponsored by you, Danny?
I mean, in the loosest sense of the word, I guess. I'm sponsoring the podcast as a studio.
You're bringing me to lunch tomorrow too. So
that's
yeah.
True. That's true. Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah. So definitely today's episode you're watching thanks to
Dr. J's Fade's barbershop. Okay, wait. I have to be professional.
Yeah.
Come to our shop if you want a haircut. I guess. Not. I guess. For sure. Yes.
If we break 10K subs this month,
yes,
he's buzzing my hair off.
Yes, hey, we can't.
No, we can't. We can say
we can't make promises like that. Do you want to buzz your head? Is there a part? Is there a part of you that would be okay with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah?
I think maybe then let's do it for charity then sometimes.
Yeah.
Not just,
Perhaps.
not just for it.
Not just for 10K. Yeah.
Yeah, not just for a joke on a podcast. Okay, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
keep that.
Yeah. Let's keep it like that. yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm too impulsive to.
No, it's okay.
I'm
me
so
too.
glad we're not doing this live.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
So, what are you gonna do today, Danny?
Well, we have a whole docket of things to go through. We have an update on a past talking point in our last podcast, in our first podcast episode.
Can you believe we already got into the drama?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like head first, man. We for real like I remember when you texted me and told me about like updates of what's going on. I went into full like I was like you need to do this. I was so excited, man.
I saw you going berserk on Discord
Yeah.
when you saw the response video.
I was losing my mind.
Okay, so maybe let's explain what are we talking about.
Yes.
Do you remember? For sure you remember. You are our loyal viewers. You know that on the last episode we went through the YouTube channel called Where's Wes, and we talked about this whole drama between two American YouTubers who make content in Poland.
Other one's American? I think
that's
he's
a good
British
question.
or something. He had like a
CB Alto or something. The other guy is probably the other guy may be British or something. But Wes from the Where's Wes channel is an American from Los Angeles that moved to Poland to. Yeah, that's a good question.
Undecided.
Maybe to find a wife, maybe not.
Yeah.
He's very vague about that.
Really?
I don't know.
What was the goal initially? Did he say that at all?
The goal of moving to Poland?
Yeah. Like what brought him here in the first place?
It's a crazy story because first he moved to like some, I think Brazil or Colombia.
That was where
right.
that's where he had his abortion.
Oh, yeah.
As he said, as he called it.
People got mad at me.
His abortion. Yeah.
People got mad at me for getting mad at him for calling it his abortion because everybody says that he has right to feel strong emotions because it was his baby too. It wasn't a baby. Okay.
Yeah. Let's not get into semantics, but I like he mentioned the woman once, perhaps, I think, and called her his Colombian girlfriend at the time. I think, if my memory serves me right, and I think the point of our, let's say, woke outrage over his statement was just how egotistical and selfish he was being about the situation. Like he was kind of like taking all the street cred, like for the pity
maybe
and
like insensitive.
Yeah.
Insensitive when you say just how that traumatized you and not mentioning the women at all.
Yeah.
In this situation, I'm not saying that he has no right to have any emotions.
No.
About this situation, but still. I feel maybe I'm too woke, Danny, but I feel like he should mention that it was nothing compared to her struggle. I feel
Yeah, well, if this means we're too woke, then I am not sleepy at all.
Because I think you can compare the two. When there's a couple and they have an abortion, it affects women more.
Of course, I mean that's just how it is, and I mean for fuck's sake, isn't the conservative view initially like in the first place, isn't the conservative perspective that the woman is the life giver of the baby, she's the caretaker of the family, she's the bringer of life, it's her whole thing is being a mother. So if her thing is being a mother,
but the thing is, Wes is claiming not to be a conservative guy.
I mean,
but we'll go over that.
Bismillah,
because let's start from the beginning. We clowned on him a little bit on our podcast.
Yes.
I was watching his videos on my stream.
Yes.
And then Wes...
That was what caught his attention, right? The you watching him on stream, not the podcast.
I don't think he watched the podcast.
Did you mention the podcast at all to him?
I did, because Wes doesn't speak Polish very well, so he actually didn't know exactly what was I mad about on my streams. So I told him you can also
You explained to him.
listen to the podcast. It's in English. You can find out more there. But he reached out to me on his Instagram and was very polite and very cool. Like I expected him to be like that because he seems to be very like cordial.
Yes.
He wants to be good with people.
Yeah.
So he was very nice and asked me if we should maybe like collab on something. So I invited him to talk live on my stream and he accepted. And it was such a strange experience for me.
I honestly, I saw like a split second of just like you guys talking. And as I told you, I have like a thing with confrontation. And with you in this case sort of being an extension of me. You know what I mean? At least
were you stressed?
I can't watch this. I can't watch this. Oh, good Lord!
I'm like that too.
You are stronger than me, man. I don't know how you were able to.
And the chat was stressed too, especially when he first came on the show, and he was like very nice and a little bit nervous, and everybody was like, "Oh no, he's so cute, Kasia, be nice to him, please." But then, on the other hand, when he started to open up a little bit about his views, the chat got really mad. And that's the thing about the chat. They switch very quickly on people. I didn't want to be too harsh on him.
Okay.
But, well, we butt heads a little bit because... Oh, that's funny. He started the conversation saying that he's actually a centrist. So we probably will agree more than I think. That I probably like misjudged him, misunderstood some points of his, and I already knew. Oh no, Wes!
Not the centrist statement.
You just don't know how leftist I am.
Yeah. I mean, like whenever I hear the term centrist, it always. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not necessarily calling for extremism in politics, but. I always think of the saying halfway crazy is still crazy. You know what I mean? Like centrist like is just halfway crazy, you know? Like that's how I see it in my head.
You know what's
sometimes.
funny? I've never actually met a person who claims that is centrist and then it turns out that they're actually more to the left.
Like they're never a leftist in disguise. They're always a right winger in disguise.
It's interesting.
Like, I don't care much for politics. I'm not educated enough. I don't think it's my place to talk about it. I'm very centrist in my beliefs. All lives matter. All blah, blah, blah. I'm for equality. It's like the same fucking song and dance and...
It always turns out to be a conservative. Somehow.
Yeah, good Lord. Yeah.
So it's also turned out that his centrist views apparently include believing that the Venezuelan government is emptying their prisons into the US to make their country safer. Which was the most insane take out of this whole conversation. View? Well, he said he's centrist at first, and then...
What does he think is a right-wing
I know,
view?
right? When I heard it, I think, to be honest, I don't think he is like a very, very conservative guy himself, or even like, I don't know, a bad person. I just think he spends a lot of time on a specific part on the internet, or maybe listens to a lot of like mainstream American media.
Right.
So,
I mean, I from the way I see it, most people that are like that, especially ones that don't class themselves in any side of the spectrum, even if they do mostly end up having conservative views on the surface, they seem to be very reactionary and emotional in their beliefs, and it's very surface level. Like I saw it on a TikTok once.
Right, I think it's just surface level opinion.
They are being basically influenced by just an algorithm that is feeding them what it thinks they want to see the most. So
yeah, I think he heard it and it was probably spread around American news and he assumed it's true.
Yeah.
So he asked me, Did you know that Venezuela is emptying their prisons into the US? Now they are like five times safer place than in year blah 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 or something. And
but I thought Venezuela was the communist country that's having the inflation financial
there
crisis.
are so many levels to that. I think the most important is, so how are they exactly safer by emptying their prisons? Like, those people were already in prison, right?
Yeah.
So how are they unsafe?
Where's the trouble coming from if they're in prison?
Yeah, I don't know what the logic is in that. So he asked me that, and I acted surprised, because I was surprised, but not by the news, just by him asking this question that I recognize as obvious Trump propaganda.
Yes.
So I was so surprised that he told me that, like, it's just...
That he was echoing it.
Yeah, so he thought that I didn't knew that. So he told me, yeah, you can look this up. And I asked him, where exactly can I look this up?
Source.
So he started researching, and the silence was...
deafening a little bit, huh? It came to me in a dream.
So this assumption that there are some groups that are intentionally plotting to destroy the country by immigration, that's absurd, and that's the conspiracy theory. So
do you know that Venezuela is safer now than it was 3 years ago because they emptied out their prisons into the US?
What?
You can look it up right now. Look it up right now.
Where
that's why there's all these gangs going to.
Where should I look up?
Okay. Venezuelan safety. Venezuela safety over the years. Venezuela. Actually. Okay, I might have misspoke. I need to do more research on that. I apologize. That's my fault.
No problem. I think we can move on to... No, but the nice moment was when he was doing research and he was realizing that the data is just not there.
Okay.
He immediately recognized that,
his point.
Yeah, I was wrong. Apparently, I misheard something. I'm gonna check this more. I'm gonna do some more research, and I'll go back to this. So it's nice that he could admit the mistake.
And look, I will make.
You need to cover your mouth less when you talk on the podcast. Sorry. No problem. It's just this little technical details that I noticed.
Fair. At least I'm not caressing the mic this time, right?
You're still learning.
Yeah. I think there's a point that I didn't make in the last episode that I think I should have when talking about my fellow expats / immigrants is that a lot of the times this behavior of trying to appeal to the local population or be sort of a pick-me is a sort of survival mechanism, because a lot of the times I was guilty of it as well. Like when I first moved here, like maybe first few months, I thought like the only way that I could survive as a foreigner is to make jokes about my people or like about like Muslims and stuff like that, and just sort of clown my entire identity, or my perceived identity rather, even if it had nothing to do with me. And I remember a woman, shout out Patrizia, she, what's it called? She told me, she's like, don't you feel like a clown, like doing this? Like, don't you feel like you're sort of like giving your dignity away? Don't you feel like you're disrespecting yourself? Like, why would you even want to appeal to somebody that would approve of you behaving like that? And it was like just clicked in my mind, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not a fan of that anymore. And it was pure survival. Like it was me like trying to be accepted in whatever community that I was in by whichever means I thought were necessary, especially at the time, because the first thing I experienced when I moved here, the first significant thing that I experienced here was hostility about my identity. So what did I do to survive? I made fun of those aspects of myself before they could, in order for them to say, oh, he's one of the good ones. And I feel like on a subconscious level, a lot of the foreigners, such as perhaps Wes in some aspects, is doing it as a survival mechanism. Maybe initially it was a survival mechanism, and now it's more something that has morphed into like a personality trait, or what he thinks is a personality trait. But I think if he really was allowed to exist outside of the definition of being a foreigner, just as being Wes, he might have very different opinions about a lot of aspects about Poland and just about life in general. I think his views are shaped a lot by needing to survive, just as mine were initially.
I think it's subconscious.
It is, yeah. It's not on purpose.
It was really strange, for example, when we were talking about immigration in general, and he was making those arguments about, you don't know the intentions of people coming here from other cultures that are of the other race than you are, and you can never be sure if they're not coming to with bad intentions to rape our women. And I am listening to him, a foreigner, an immigrant who is not white,
and I'm reaping the benefits of what he is arguing against, basically.
We see this group of outsiders coming in. We don't know what their intentions are. They can be nice, they can say all of these things, but there's also the possibility that they come and they destroy the country, they give us fucking smallpox, they come and they rape all of our women, right? We have to do this like probability thing in our head of like, okay, are these foreigners good or are these foreigners bad? You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's a current reality that we live in, that people that are coming to our country and their color, they have the different color skin, their intentions can be to conquer us and destroy us and rape us? Do you really believe that?
In the UK right now, there are a lot of Pakistani rape gangs, are there not?
No, I don't think so. Like, dude, you are one of the. Would you want me to assume this about you?
Yeah.
Do you really think? And I asked him, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that there are some people who come here specifically to destroy our country, to murder us? And it was, I think, a moment that he needed to think a little bit deeper on that, because I didn't want to ask directly what I wanted to ask him. Like, don't you see that you're talking about yourself?
Yes.
Do you want me to treat you like you argument I should treat like people coming here from the Middle East or Africa?
Yeah. I mean, like it's kind of like you can really tell how deep into it he got, like in the sense of detaching himself from the identity of
an immigrant.
Of an immigrant, because he clearly wants to fit in. I mean, and that's not a horrible thing at all. I mean, everybody wants to fit in. Every foreigner wants to assimilate. I mean, I love it when people say that I'm like a honorary Polish person because of how I behave or how I speak or how I live my life, and that's great. You know, that's nice. It's endearing, but at the same time, there is always going to be a separation, and it's not a comfortable thought. And I think that he's sort of found like a little comfortable niche for himself to
be the cool immigrant,
yes,
to be the pick-me immigrant, as we agreed the last time.
And I do respect him for what he's doing in the broadest sense, that he clearly doesn't want to hurt anybody. He wants to live his own life. He wants to be accepted. He wants to exist within a community and within a society and be a functioning member of it. But I just think that in some ways, the way that he chooses to go about that,
it can be harmful.
Yeah,
to others.
it can be harmful
it's at
indirectly.
the expense of other immigrants.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe he's full of good intentions.
Yes.
But also, I think this strategy, either like subconscious or intentional, it works for him a little bit because I saw the comments under
I saw some screenshots
under the reaction video to our conversation that he made.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are telling him, "You're one of the good guys. Actually, thank you, Wes, for respecting our culture and explicitly saying what we are suggesting here. You are the one of the good ones. Others are the bad ones, and it's good for you to recognize that." And I think it's basically saying, at least you know your place, Wes. And as long as you're an immigrant who knows his place,
exactly,
we're good with you.
Exactly. You know your place. Like you, like, does he not? I don't know. I feel bad, like, because I could have so easily been trapped in that, like, very early on, because, you know, we exist, like, people like me and Wes, or like Wes and I, excuse me.
Wow, your American passport is really showing.
The American education is really showing. But people like Wes and I exist in a very specific, small group of people who are content creators in Poland who are obviously foreigners, not white, American, English speaking. All these things, we have actually a lot in common. The only difference I would say is that I'm brown and he's Asian. So our stereotypes might be a little bit more different.
He would say that. He's claiming that like Asian guys are better perceived here in Poland than in the West.
I mean, yeah. Like Asians might perhaps have a surface level more positive stereotype, but a stereotype of any kind, I think, has a negative effect, whether it's immediately or eventually.
Overall, it will hurt you in a way, even if it's positive.
So I do see a lot of... I'm not sure how old Wes is, but...
around my age, he's 30.
Okay. So I do see a lot of... even though I'm 24, but I do see a lot of myself in him. In a growth perspective, because I did initially behave in that way, especially in regards to the concept of foreigners, immigrants, stuff like that. I was never really conservative in my views, but I know he would not claim to be conservative, but you know what I mean. So after some thought past my initial just reaction to him, I do have some
an initial anger too.
Initial anger. I do have some, I forget if it's empathy or sympathy, but
what's the difference? Wait,
one of them is something that you want, and some of
I think you want sympathy. You don't want empathy, because empathy is not being able to disconnect yourself from the feeling that other person is feeling. Like when somebody hurts, you're feeling hurt too, and it can be unhealthy. And when you feel sympathy, you can feel bad for other person, but not internalize it. I think. I'm not a psychologist, so I may be wrong, but this also reminds me of a topic you once mentioned in your stream about how Middle Eastern guys are perceived here in Poland as like romantic partners. Because I think there are so many stereotypes right now about
fetishization almost, right?
I think there are two sides of the coin. Like the fetishization by white women of brown guys leads to an anger of white guys towards brown guys that is 100%. So vicious.
100%.
So vicious. I remember when I was still on Facebook, it was like I don't know, 2016 maybe, It was the time of the edgy humor on the internet. There was this,
Like iDubbbz, Filthy Frank.
Exactly.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
and there are some like pages on Facebook, like fan pages that were, the whole purpose was to troll people. And there was this one fan page that was called Polko wyjdź za Araba. It was like a call to action, like Polish women marry Arab men. And the whole fan page was based on like, it was just arguments for Polish women why they should marry a Muslim.
I think I saw a screenshot from that page.
It
like
was pure rage bait for Polish men.
Oh, beautiful.
There were like arguments that Arab men are cleaner,
Yes.
are more hygienic,
Yeah,
are,
they pay for everything.
they're respectful, and rich.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, the rage was insane. It
imagine.
was like, but you also like experience the other side of the coin, and that's the fetishization.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. I was initially because I'm an attention whore.
Yeah, and a slut.
And a slut, yeah, big whore.
Big filthy whore. Yeah, more words for me to censor so we can get monetized.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But at the same time, I realized after some time that they were not even like interested in me for anything besides the fact that they perceived me as something that I'm not, or at least something that I don't see myself, or maybe something that I don't think is at the top of my list of who I am as a person. And half of them just had some internalized racism that was fighting with their physical attraction for me. And some of them were just, let's say, not thinking too much about the way they were speaking about me to me or to others, like making a lot of generalizations.
Like what? Can you bring more
like
specific?
I remember one of the first women that I met here, she told me, I hope you are not like the other Arab guys, because you know the other Arab guys, they just want to marry white women and whatever, and they're because they think white women are easy, and like girl, like, you know, there's like 20 something different like Arab country, like surely we cannot all be the same people, you know, like that's what I was so confused about. And that's where by the way, that's where the mentality of like, oh, I'm one of the good ones comes from, like, because you hear all these bad things about the groups that you belong to, and you have to prove that you are not like that. I am not the stereotype. And another one is like sort of related to this. I think you will find this funny. I call it my white woman attraction test.
White woman attraction test.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Or actually white person attraction test, because men are also attracted to me. I mean, thank you. But what's it called? So generally, this is a not a very scientific test, but
really?
No.
There are not any like science-based research?
No, not much.
Can I read about it in Nature magazine?
No. But you can hear a lot of what's the term? First-person accounts of it. So you know about the different stereotypes that races have in Poland, especially nationalities. So within brown people, the undesirable ones are usually Indians, Pakistanis, South Asians. The desirable ones are either Arabs from the rich countries, or people like Spanish people, Portuguese, stuff like that. People who can pass off as Arab. So the easiest way that I would know if somebody is attracted to me is when they would ask me where I'm from, I tell them to guess. If they guessed some like poorer Arab country or a South Asian country, like 9 out of 10 times they were not attracted to me. And if they were attracted to me, they would always say like Italian or like Spanish or something, or like, you know, like
That's so interesting, because it's like the other way around. It's not they dislike you because they think you're like from India,
Yeah.
they think you're from India because they dislike it.
Yeah.
The mechanisms
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
biases are clear as day.
Yeah, it's so obvious, and I realized that after a few times, because to somebody that because let's be honest, most Polish people specifically, not most, a good amount of Polish people cannot really distinguish between
definitely
the
not.
browns.
Yeah,
let's
some
say.
of my haters called you like a Hindu guy.
Yeah, a Hindu guy. You know, I've heard everything under the sun. You know, and for me the differences are quite clear, and I can see them as well with white people. It's not like it's just because I'm brown, but. For people who think like more on surface level and are very stereotype heavy in their thinking, it's quite obvious what their thought process is, you know, one by one with the conclusions
So
that they come to.
interesting.
That's why it's not scientific, but it's kind of like obvious when you think about it. You know what I mean?
I guess I kind of get it. I feel like I felt the same when I asked guys from other countries what do they think I am, where I'm from. And I knew they were not into me when they said German. And they were when they said like Russian, Ukrainian, Polish.
Yeah, Slavic. When they said Slavic.
Yeah, pretty much. Wow, that's deep, man.
It's like it's reverse racism. I mean, it's like it's, you know, when you like when you go driving like a roundabout, and instead of doing a U-turn, you like do like 2 rounds around the roundabout, and you end up doing a U-turn anyways. That's what that is. It's still racism. It's just with extra steps. Because it's not even conscious, you know. It's like they don't even realize that they're outing themselves by.
We're in too deep.
Yeah. We're like psychoanalyzing white people. Episode 2 of Women in STEM.
Yeah, that got intense pretty quick.
What were you even talking about?
About Wes, and by the way, a lot of people were also like shitting on him in his comment section.
In his comment section?
Yeah, well, I get why, and I feel a little bit guilty maybe because he responded to our conversation with the reaction video, and the title of the video was "This woke Polish woman tried to cancel me."
Yeah.
So I confronted him.
Yeah.
And my viewers got so angry at that. But to be honest, Wes and I.
Nope. Sorry, Okay, we need to lock that door. It reminds me of that scene. We will cut it in post.
Yeah.
I'll send you the clip of the Punisher in that dream sequence yelling, no, because no. Yeah, he was having a night. Okay, whatever. It will be funny in post. Viewers will laugh.
Oh, they're gonna laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. Please continue, madam.
Yeah, so actually, Wes and I were talking after a conversation, and he asked me how,
like
after a conversation on stream,
out of not live.
Not live, yeah,
Okay,
on
okay,
Instagram.
okay.
We were talking, and he asked me how intense do I want to get with the thumbnails and titles. So I said, yeah, let's go. Let's go full in. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get offended.
Yeah.
So it was a mutual agreement.
Yes.
And I have no like no.
Malice or you don't feel bad about.
No bad blood between
no
me
bad
and
blood,
Wes.
that's the term.
At least about the title and the thumbnail. I haven't seen his reaction yet because I feel I'm gonna get like annoyed at him.
Because he's reacting to me as well, right?
Really?
Is he?
No, I don't. I haven't
you
watched
said
it.
He's reacting to like the podcast, like us talking about him, or is he reacting to?
No, I don't think he saw the podcast.
Oh, okay,
yet.
alhamdulillah. Okay,
No,
that's good.
I don't know.
I'm too scared.
I haven't watched it yet too because I feel like no, I don't. From what I've seen in the comments, he's acting very, very cocky on the reaction video.
Yeah, I mean, it's his channel, right?
Yeah, but when we were talking, he was like.
He was like a cutie pie.
The Polish word would be trusia.
like little Mishu. Like
He was so sweet
Yeah.
and agreeable, and the
but
conversation
that's a
was-
reflection, by the way, of his desire to be accepted.
Yeah,
it's like
no,
an extension of that. It's because I'm the same thing. I love being liked by people.
Yeah, that's a good
even,
quality.
Even by people that I think don't like me, or like that are against what I am as a person. You know what I mean? Like one time I spent like an hour in Lulu. Shout out Cafe Lulu, sponsor us. What's this called? In Lulu, arguing with a legit like Islamophobe, like a guy that hated Muslims specifically, and I was not even arguing. I was like trying to convince, even though I'm a fucking atheist, I was trying like so hard to convince him like it's all equally shit. Like it's not just the Muslim. Oh God! Like I know where he's coming from. I know why he behaves in that way. I think I'm making a lot of assumptions, but perhaps shall we move on to
absolutely
to gingers.
Oh my God, a 50 minutes conversation about race and ethnic backgrounds and stereotypes, and then let's move on to ginger.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Rude? Ruji. And then one of them is Rude.
Rude. Or Ruda.
I have such a problem with the Y and the E. Like, I can't differentiate between them. One is E. Like,
the one thing I agree on with Wes is that Polish language is fucked up, and we definitely should get rid of all the conjugation.
Yeah.
And why does everything has to be gendered?
Yeah, that also, like...
Why this chair has a gender? And I know it's not only a Polish language.
Yeah, we have it in Arabic too.
Too, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why do I need to correctly gender
Fuck
this
knows.
chair?
Fuck knows. The only language I will disrespect for having that is French. Fuck you, French. Suck my dick. I hate you, French. Okay. Let's continue.
Sure. So, Rudzi, ginger,
Yes.
redhead people in general. That
That is the
redhead.
the desirable, not desirable, but the nice term is redhead, right?
I think
Not
so.
ginger?
I'm not native in English, so
I always heard ginger and redhead interchangeably, but redhead sounds kinder. So let's say.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's stick to redheads.
Let's stick to redheads.
Because apparently they also face many struggles that we were blind to.
Yes.
And that's something I learned from internet culture, that like that stereotype, or maybe a joke, that people with red hair don't have souls.
Yes.
It's not only a Polish thing.
It's not.
I thought it's a Polish
No,
thing.
no.
It's a worldwide phenomenon.
It reached me like all the way as a little kid in the Middle East when I was like 7, 8 years old or something like that, seeing the Gingers Have Souls video. Have you seen that video before?
What? There's a video?
Oh, there's a
Tell
video
me.
of this guy on YouTube. It got like back
It's
when
called Gingers Have Souls?
yeah, back when autotune remixes were like a big deal.
Oh.
That was how I found out about like half of Western
Oh
culture.
my god, is this
Yes,
guy?
yes.
Let me see.
And you see how like right under it, by the way, is the Shmoyoho, is the autotune remix.
Watch the
Oh, sorry.
audio levels.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Is the autotune
the-
remix.
Should we watch the remix?
I mean, that's
or-
how I first learned about it. But
so let's see this one.
Yeah. The song is so funky too.
I just wanted to say that it really irritates me that South Park would say red-haired people don't have souls, and it really hurts my feelings.
This guy, I believe, was satirical. His video was satirical.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but see how old?
So-
How old is this video? Like from what year is it? 13 years ago. It's from 2012.
Yeah, I'm still not over the autotune remix.
Oh yeah.
I can't take it seriously.
Did you
No,
watch? Were you like tapped into that?
Yeah, of course.
Like a decade
but
back?
right now, I just can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I
Why?
used to love them
It's-
so much when I was a kid, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's just so weird now that we were doing this
Yeah,
for real.
the concept of it is strange. I don't know how the fuck they even came up with that, like doing that,
But yeah, so that's 13 years ago that
that's how I found out about like the gingers not having souls thing, or the redheads not having
That's
souls thing.
so mean,
Yeah.
by the way. Of all of the stereotypes,
It didn't
that
even make
one?
sense to me. Like, why? Like, what? I mean, no stereotype makes sense really, but
Yeah.
like the not having souls thing is so random. Like,
I think it's all based just on how rare redhead people are throughout all of the cultures and societies.
yeah, is it like a left-handed thing? Maybe. Like left-handed people used to be
probably
seen as like
even-
demonic back in the day.
Yes, it's probably even rarer than being left-handed.
Yeah.
That's why people are always mean to people that are different.
Yes.
And redheads are different because
Yes.
it's a really rare trait.
Yes,
So they're also both fetishized and
that's right. That's
so
right. That's right.
it's
And
always
discriminated
this-
against. Yes.
always two sides of the same coin that is being different from
Yes.
the general population.
Yes.
So what we were like heading towards to is this new TikTok phenomena, and
Yes.
we love our TikTok phenomena.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's a very interesting watch because initially with how dramatic the video seems, you would definitely not take it seriously. But then seeing the amount of like people genuinely sobbing, like not crying, tearing up, like sobbing, like as if they were like a fucking like what's the term? A persecuted people finally.
Yeah, so let's explain first.
Yes.
Because I think it's all started with a video of a generally and truly confused black person who just discovered how truly discriminated against ginger people are.
Yeah, and well, we can play that for the audience.
Do we have it here?
Or
I think probably not. I don't
only have
even
the
know if it-
compilation. I only have the
Yeah.
compilation. I can find the other one.
The
though.
original video was
Yeah.
definitely of a black person that just I don't know, probably
Just stumbled
overheard
upon, yeah, like
a white people's conversation. A rare case of a black person
Yeah.
into like getting into white people's business.
Oh, God.
It's usually the other way
Yeah.
around.
I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black people. All gingers are black people. If they have red hair, they are black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman. Gingers are black. All gingers.
the comments are fucking hilarious. Like people who had just found out about this whole situation were like dumbfounded in the comments, like, what the fuck are they doing to you people? Like,
Yes.
like you know what? That's what I loved so much because I
That's
was thinking the
because
same thing.
After the original videos of black people being surprised by the persecution of
Yeah.
ginger people,
And-
all the
and
gingers on TikTok, let's
saying
keep
that
it
they-
chronologically.
Saying that they are part of the community because that's what the
Oh yes,
gingers
right.
are reacting
Then
to.
the black people said, not all the black people, but some black people on TikTok.
Just the black people, you know.
Just all.
Yeah.
They have this regional convention,
Yeah, once a year, you know.
and they all decided.
Yeah.
All the black people in the world decided gingers are now part of the black
Yeah,
community.
they're honorary black people.
We accept you
Yes.
because white people are being so mean to you.
Yeah.
you're not one of us.
Almost the same level of persecution, at least from the eyes of some
Yes.
black people.
So then all the redheads on TikTok were really touched by that, and they started recording their reactions to
all the
this-
support that
to
they
all the
were
support.
receiving, you know, to
and
the
they
love.
were actually sobbing
Yeah.
and in tears, and that stemmed the reaction of people on TikTok commenting
what
like,
the fuck
"What
are they
is
doing to you people? like genuine, like you would think that they were being like liberated from like
Slavery.
like from slavery or something.
they were-
Good lord! I mean, look, to be fair though, there is nothing like the bullying and wrath of a white person. You know, so I do
Yes.
understand the feeling of liberation that they are getting from that. Like they've probably spent like their whole lives being seen as white people by non-white people, and being seen as non-white people by white people. You know, which is like a crazy thing to think about.
I think something even different than not white. They
like
were
a third
seen
worst thing.
Yes,
like,
even-
you know, like
even.
not white, not black, like just like your own like, you know,
So
horrible thing, soulless thing. I mean, say what you want about like white people being racist to black people. I don't think the not having souls thing was ever like a claim. That's like a.
No.
I'm not saying it's
maybe.
worse, but it's.
That's. I think maybe. I think some white people at least in the U.S., they were trying to justify slavery.
Yeah, sorry.
with-
Let's correct what I meant, because I do understand and agree that they were all dehumanized. And that's
Yeah,
another way of
same.
like somebody not having a soul is
That
another way of
definitely.
dehumanizing them. But I think I was just like shocked by the fact that they were saying it to what I perceived as their fellow white man.
Yes,
right?
but to
Like
be fair, there were never like a systematic.
no. There's no
discrimination
ethnic
or-
cleansing of.
I don't think they were like
No.
excluded from public
No.
office.
They were not considered colored people or anything like that. But
But you are all mean to them.
Yeah.
We are all. I don't think I ever was, because I, as a little girl, I've read Anne of the Green Gables.
Uh-huh.
Gobbles?
Goebbels, God knows.
Ania z Zielonego Wzgórza. And I was always so. It was a strange concept to me because in the book, Anya didn't want to be a ginger.
Right.
And it was the worst thing in the world to her. And
Yeah.
I always, since I was a little girl, I fantasized about being a redhead because I wanted to be different and special. And it was something cool to me to be a redhead. But then, I don't know, probably if I actually were a redhead girl, I would probably be bullied for that in,
Yeah. You
in
would
like
have
elementary
wanted to
school.
be like a blonde or something. Yeah.
Because people will find anything to bully you for
Yeah.
when you're a kid.
I mean, like, from my experience in this 24, nearly 25 years of life, is that marginalization tends to be the mother of all suffering in humanity. Honestly, like the separation of people into specific classes of people just causes like more division and more hate and more suffering, you know?
Oh my God, Danny, are you clip farming today?
Am
You're
I?
clip farming so hard.
Am I being
you're
very
like-
quotable?
You're spitting those tapes.
Ah,
They're so-
yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm speaking very poetically. Forgive me for that. But I do stand by what I'm saying. Marginalization is the mother of all suffering,
It is.
for sure.
It is. I think.
Should we get into the compilation?
Oh, yes,
The
let's
crying
watch that.
compilation.
Literally saved my physical life.
I have so many emotions right now. I can't even process them. The last 48 hours of my life, I've never felt more love in my life. Feeling truly wanted. I'm black.
Well, I think he is. actually.
He genuinely does look black, to be honest.
I have felt more connected, more appreciated.
It's like the
more loved
pastiest
than
white
I've
boys
ever
you've ever seen in your life, and they're like,
in my entire life.
I hope there's a good outcome to all of this.
This whole thing about gingers being part of the black community, low-key hits home for me.
And I can just see how loving and genuine all of you guys are.
This past week has been the best week of my life. And I just want to show my appreciation, my gratitude to, all the kind words, all the love, everything that I've received.
You know how I know that, after all, redhead people are indeed white? Mm-hmm. It's how traumatic they are.
yeah.
It,
Genuinely, like, oh, I wish I could open the
Nobody.
comments for you. But
nobody
like,
can match us in the theater.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Even my dramatic ass cannot match this.
Oh, no.
Honestly.
No.
But like and this video was my introduction to the whole thing. So I was just like everybody else, going in the comments and saying, "What the fuck did they do to gingers? Like, what happened to them?" And then I realized the almost admirable thing about this was the black community with open arms and like as much love as you could imagine, accepting them.
Some were weirded out, but will always be
Yeah.
like. There's always be a division on every viral trend. So.
Yeah, but I think just the sentiment of it is so adorable.
Yeah,
like,
it's sweet.
It's really, really sweet, especially knowing that historically the black community in the States was treated miserably.
Oh God.
Right? So it's really admirable that they would even if it's like
And
sort
it was
of
really not long ago too.
Yeah.
I think like the first black girl that went to a not segregated school is not only alive today,
Yeah.
but she looks, God, I wanted to say so hot, but I don't know if it's respectable.
No, I think it's
She's, you would expect
I think
her,
it's respectful to say to
you would
call someone
expect her
hot.
to be a granny,
Okay. So
tiny
you're
lady
saying she
with-
still looks like cunty and like
She still looks good,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's maybe it's weird that my brain went there at the like. But what I meant is she's still young, relatively,
yeah.
and it's a first person of color in a non-segregated school in US.
Yeah. Like I remember being shocked as a kid because of course I didn't learn US history outside of the US, and I think they don't even teach these things in the US a lot of the times, right?
Not now, because
Yeah, definitely not now with all the and I remember watching Oprah. I was obsessed with Oprah when Oprah was still on. Yeah. Oh man, I was a bitch for Oprah. Oprah and The View. I loved Oprah and The View, and I wish I was. Sorry, this is a little tangent, but I wish I was watching. What's it called? Not more. Oh God, it's slipping my mind. She's the one that said that the Nile is a river in Egypt. She has Graves' disease now. She doesn't.
Yes, I know. Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams, yes. Oh my! I wish I could have like experienced Wendy Williams. Like
You would be obsessed. You would
Yeah.
be a different person today.
I watch clips like all the time now. But anyways, I remember watching Oprah and her saying that her grandma or something was a slave, or like was like that her grandma was the daughter of a something like that.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm sure people will correct me if I'm wrong about this, but the idea is still the same. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
US is crazy.
what?
Yeah,
Like,
and
what?
what always
Slave? Like that's shit I was reading about in the Quran. You know what I mean? Like that's shit that's in the fucking Bible.
what
Like that's
really grinds my gears.
Yeah.
I love this term.
Yeah.
Is when I hear Americans like trying to justify or explain their founding fathers for having
Yes.
slaves, and they say, but we cannot like put our modern moral standards
On them.
on them. And I say, we don't have to. Moral standards even back then. All of the world was looking at you and thinking you are fucking crazy for having
Yes,
slaves.
yes.
I was reading like a book of not a book, but maybe a letter of a Polish like scholar
Mm-hmm.
who was traveling into the US after it was funded. And I remember like he was writing in the letter, this is so strange they are having
like he was
slaves.
like in shock.
He was in shock that
Yeah.
there's still, Poland, we had this a very feudal system pretty far into our history too, and it was kind of like slavery, like with the peasant class,
Yes.
but still it was not
It's like a classist sort of
Yes, but it was
system.
not race based,
Yeah.
and
It was class based. I mean, because you did not have much variation in race in Poland that
the
much.
ethnic mix in Poland is
Yeah, it's pretty much the same genetic pool, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, please continue.
Yeah, so I always think like yes we can and we will put our modern moral standards on your
definitely.
founding fathers,
Definitely.
because it was fucked up
Yes.
that after you were funded for so long you were keeping slaves. It's fucked up. What's with
Shit, I thought it froze for a second. I thought it stopped.
Oh, it's good.
No,
You're
no,
doing
it's all
good
bad.
considering
The
the
circumstances.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we looking, Jamie? Yeah?
We have a different Jamie every episode.
Jamie is more of like it's like a spiritual. Yeah, it's a concept. It's like the Avatar. You know, if you've seen the animated series, right? Each reincarnation, it's still the Avatar, right?
I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Are we done with gingers?
Yes, I think no, because we were on some tangent and it slipped my mind.
But the more important question is: are the gingers good with us,
Us,
or
as
are
in-
they done with us?
As in brown and white people or white people?
No,
or
you and me specifically.
women in STEM. The women.
Are we
in STEM.
good?
Are we gingers? Are we good?
Are we good?
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
About the moral difference in time and stuff like that. America was during the time of apartheid South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
This is post-slavery America. Post, I think, even Jim Crow America. They were so righteously outraged by the conditions that the Africans, the blacks in Africa, the black people in Africa faced in apartheid South Africa, and nobody talks about that as, oh, it's a different time. Like, you were so morally grandstanding in your position at the time. Surely it can be the same to slavery times, right? Like,
Yeah. It can, and
it should.
I think every time when somebody claims that we cannot judge historical figures by today's standards, I say, watch me.
Yeah.
I will judge them.
Tough shit, little bro.
What you gonna do? What they're gonna do? They're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to hear a nice rage bait?
No.
I learned. Huh?
Yes, please go ahead.
A good way to piss somebody off very easily when they're like debating with you or just like telling you stuff that's like factual. You always just reply, big if true. like
telling the basic fact of reality.
like imagine like somebody's like telling you like, oh, like there's a disproportionate amount of immigrants raping women in Poland.
Big
if true, bro. But like, get me a source, man.
My next conversation with Wes will be like,
just spam big if true.
Next time he's gonna bring up Venezuela.
Venezuela.
I will be like,
Big
damn,
if true,
big
bro.
if true.
Yeah.
Like, are they emptying their prisons
Big if true.
into Poland right now?
I don't know.
Dobra, to chwilkę przerwę.
Oh yeah, low-key me too got a pee-pee. Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl.
Maybe this will be in the
We can-
women are constantly in a state of apology. Oh, feminist Danny.
Damn, Danny. You're unstoppable today. You're
I what's the term? I sharpened my clip farming
I think
quotes.
it's getting into your head, the whole podcast thing.
Yeah, the ego,
the success of the
ego's
first
building up.
episode.
We're gonna need some hate comments, chat.
Yes, please
Chat.
hate on Daddy some more.
Yeah.
Like,
This part can be like a Patreon exclusive.
or
You
maybe
know,
something like post-credits scene.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
funny post-credits scene.
Because I was thinking of like, since we do spend like a big chunk, like a big amount of time recording the podcast, we can have like something called like the piss break segment, where like each of us takes turns going to the bathroom, and then one of us just like talks to the audience about some like random shit.
Or maybe the other way around.
Yeah,
Every time you're going on a bathroom break,
Yeah.
you take a phone with you.
yeah.
And it's like in every reality show, there's this like booth when they interview you, and you tell your like
So I do it. I do it in the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
Okay, that's
Like,
that's beautiful.
listen, chat. This
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Okay, I'm such a
Kasia
big
is
fan of that.
unhinged today. Please, if you want to cancel her, remember that I'm not associated with her
Perfect.
in any way.
Perfect.
I just know her from the internet.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I did not know what I was
I didn't
getting
even
into.
like her to begin with.
Yeah,
To be honest, to be H.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, from all the millennials that I've had the pleasure of interacting with, I don't think I have ever had a conversation with you where I've been reminded of our generational gap.
Never.
Not once. Genuinely not once. I've always had these like brick wall moments with each, because as you know, I'm into older women.
Oh God, yeah.
So I've had these brick wall moments sometimes where I've like spoken with them about something, and then I've just been like, oh girl, what the fuck are you like?
The ick.
Yeah, like not even the ick, just
the
like
ick.
just like, oh damn, like.
Yeah, we are.
I really was 0 years old when you were like 15 or something. You know what I mean? Like, but like with you, I don't know. I have not felt that so far. I think that's why we have a good what's the term? Repertoire.
Repertoire?
What's the back and forth thing called?
Banter?
Banter is one way of saying it. There's
But
rapport.
Rapport.
We have a good rapport with each other. Yeah.
But to return the compliment, I also feel the same, that I don't come crashing into the brick wall with you, because it not only works one way.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I also have it sometimes with younger people.
Yeah.
Not now, because now I don't associate with younger people a lot.
Mm.
I
find
it.
You're just like not. You're not interested in it anymore.
I think it's like. I just don't have many opportunities.
We're playing around with this segment. We'll see what we're gonna do with it after.
So I once met a girl that was a little younger than me, not problematic younger.
Got it. I don't think you even have to say that.
And it was fun until I found out, because we were usually meeting each other like outside at a bar or like at a party.
It's very social, outside
So I suggested
settings.
maybe we should hang out more like
one-on-one,
cozy, in some cozy setting, to spend some time, like maybe watching a movie. And she told me, I don't watch movies.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What?
Yeah, because they grew up on YouTube, girl. Some of them don't even like watch movies like that.
She said it so casually though, like
it's like a thing people say sometimes, like
just any movies.
Yeah, right. It's like I have the same reaction when I talk to somebody like from Gen Z, and they tell me like, oh, I don't really watch YouTube. What the fuck do you mean you don't really watch YouTube? Like what do you do when you're like when you're like doing your laundry, when you're eating, when you're cooking? Like you just listen to your brain? Are you fucking crazy? You know? I do so terrible in solitary confinement, by the way.
Oh God, no! I would die.
Yeah,
I would
genuinely like I'd be the first person like to experience his psychiatric symptoms physically. You know what I mean? Like I'd get a heart attack from like how bad my anxiety would get. Or something
I think you would go into psychosis actually.
Oh, 100 million%.
That would save you.
Yes. I need to go pee, girl.
Go piss, girl.
Woo! Chat, I'm peeing right now. I mean, I'm not peeing as we speak. I'm about to start my pee. I'm in the bathroom of my barbershop, and I just would like to reflect. I'm feeling very reflective right now. I think I'm very grateful for the privileges that I have in my life, you know, and I'm grateful for the privilege to have the ability to do a podcast with the lovely Kasia, the privilege to have a barbershop to do the podcast in, for the privilege of everything, really. You guys remember back in like 2016, 2017 when people used to say, check your privilege. You really should check your privilege sometimes.
One of my eyelashes was like stuck to my eyebrow the whole time, and
Wallah?
you didn't say anything.
I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't.
I already fixed it, but thank you for nothing. I fixed it already.
But can I see? I think I see something.
What?
Oh no, it's just your blonde hair. Never mind. Okay.
Thank you. Soon as you started your sentence with for a millennial or something, I was already rolling my eyes.
Look, I wasn't like blowing smoke up your ass. I was just saying like.
But also, just when I saw the video from our last recording session.
Which one?
Just the
whole,
podcast.
Yeah.
I saw how it all turned out, and I was shocked because it was from just one frame. It was so clear, so painfully clear, who's the millennial and who's the Gen Z in the picture. Even though I don't think I look much older than you, like the.
No, I forget like that you are like.
But the
older
outfits, it was so painfully clear. I looked at myself and I didn't even realize how millennial my whole thing is.
I think this is the perfect time to maybe suggest the idea that you suggested to me.
Right, we need to do the new segment.
Yeah, of me dressing you up as a
Gen Z.
Yeah, as a Gen Z person.
Yes, we need to set up a budget, and you're gonna go to all the cool thrift stores in Lublin.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring me a bag of clothes, and we're gonna style me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a whole show, dress to impress in real life.
Yeah, exactly. That segment was fun, by the way, on the live.
Dress to impress, yeah.
They loved it.
We're also about to do a Hear Me Out cake today.
Yes.
But we stumble upon some technical difficulties.
Yes.
So that's
funny enough, separately, but pretty much the same thing.
The printer.
Yeah.
The problem of the print. Anyway, we're gonna do this next time, but still today we have some content to go through.
We do. Yes.
And the next thing we wanted to talk about is the demise of Tom Felton, a beloved child actor.
Yes. That is, I think, more your ballpark. So you go for the explanation.
So, as an introduction, let me say that. Tom Felton is a child actor, but not like a typical child actor. I think there's this whole other category, like Harry Potter actor.
Mm-hmm. And just for those who don't know, Tom Felton was Draco Malfoy.
And the thing is, he still is
Draco
Malfoy, because as we found out, he didn't seem to find anything about himself to this day that is anything other from being a Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It really is. I mean, the only thing that reduces my feelings of pity for him are two things, really. Is the first of all the fact that he hasn't really said anything about J.K. Rowling's disgusting behavior. And on top of it, Jamie. There you go. Is the other thing is he's making bank. Mm-hmm. He's still making money. He's still making a bunch of money. It's he's still much more privileged than the average person. Let's say.
Mm-hmm. Is he though?
I think so. There's royalties of the movies. There's voice acting in video games. There's all these royalties that off royalties alone. I think he can.
Because I was wondering, he's of course he's still associating with J.K. Rowling. Mm-hmm. I think few actors from the movies do, and I think it's because majority of the main actors from the franchise. Managed to find some other avenues for their careers, and they don't have to. There are some speculations that maybe Tom Felton just is financially attached to the franchise,
dependent.
And the franchise he's dependent on the Harry Potter franchise and the J.K. Rowling too. So he didn't say anything about her transphobic views, and he's still actively supporting the Harry Potter franchise by showing up to every merchandise store opening, He's promoting the games heavily and promoting. Oh, I think he starred in one of the plays. that were based.
I don't know how recent it is, but what's the name of the new Harry Potter thing that started
You
as a
mean
play?
like
Cursed Child?
Cursed Child? Oh, the
Yeah.
play. Mhm.
So he's just playing an adult version of Draco
Oh
Malfoy
God,
in
no!
that play.
Oh, that's so creepy, actually, and
Yeah.
it fits perfectly because I think I found out about Tom Felton because people are clowning on him on TikTok right now because he's insufferable on TikTok because he barely does anything by pretending to be Draco Malfoy. He's always in the damn scarf.
Yeah.
He's like making weird innuendo jokes about him and not even Hermione, like the character, but Emma Watson.
Emma Watson, yeah.
He's weirdly like referring to the quote from Emma, who as a little girl said that she once had a crush on Tom because she thought he's like a bad boy or something. And he's now playing songs referencing that quote, like "I'm just a bad boy with a skateboard" or something. Like, we can actually find this. I think it's gonna be perfectly cringy.
Oh God.
But the thing is, the Cursed Child, the whole play. I've never seen the play, but I've read the book. The book is like a script, and I was shocked how fucking horrible it is.
Really?
It's like one of the worst fanfics
Like
I've ever read.
cash grab fanfic type
It's
beat,
worse
yeah.
than a cash grab. It's just the worst tropes in all of the Harry Potter fanfics, like made into a
good
book.
Lord. So it's like fan service the play.
Let me just say, it's about Voldemort's daughter.
Daughter.
Yes. It's like the most basic fanfic plot ever. And there are like adult versions of all the beloved characters.
Correct, yeah.
And they are such losers. Like
Really?
Harry himself is a horrible dad. I hate what it did to his character because I am a millennial. I was a huge fan of the
Me too.
books.
Yeah.
So Harry in The Cursed Child is the worst fucking loser and the worst dad ever. And it just hurts me inside because, well, I was attached to this character, and as an orphan, I thought it would be nice for him to have this arc when he learns to be a good father to his kids, and he's such a douchebag to them. It's not even like a lesson to be learned there. He's just a douchebag who doesn't care about his kids. So these kids that are main characters in Cursed Child are... Oh, there's this one plot point where the children drink the potion that makes them change into another person.
Oh, that one,
So one of the kids drink this potion. Harry's son...
Yeah, that's Harry's son, yeah.
turns into Ron to kiss his aunt. Not on purpose. No, or maybe, I don't know.
I mean, look, regardless of the intention, it was crafted from fiction. It's not a real thing. It's something that somebody made up and willingly came up with because she could have easily just not made it happen.
Let's just not.
No.
So, like, Tom Felton playing his adult version of Draco Malfoy actually fits perfectly into that because he is so fanficky with his whole shtick that he does on TikTok right now. It's his official account, and it looks like a fan edit of himself as a child in a movie.
Harry Potter has come to Hogwarts. You'll soon find out that some wizarding families are better than others, Potter.
What's the matter, Potter?
Scared, Potter.
Bet you love that, didn't you, Potter? Famous Harry Potter.
He made an edit of every time he says Potter in the movie as Draco Malfoy.
And he constantly repeats it as a grown man too.
It's a fan behavior.
Hello.
Him and his fucking scarf. Hello, boys, girls, witches, wizards of all ages.
Ooh, I see you. I said you. Pretty sure she saw me too. And you. see you.
Did I mention that he also wrote a book that's like an autobiography?
Beyond the Wand, it's called, I think.
It's called Beyond the Wall, the Wand.
Wand.
And the amount of times he uses the word Gryffindors in this book is physically painful. Well, to be fair, I guess it's hard to be in such a huge franchise and to find yourself after it and find your identity outside of it. But I think like you should at least try.
Yeah, this is kind of like the famous actor career version of peaking in high school.
Exactly.
It's the same sense of pity that you feel for almost like disgust and pity, a mix of both, that you feel for that person that peaked in high school. You feel it like for Tom Felton as well. I think at least I do.
Mm-hmm. Like, dude, we all have better stuff to do now, and you're still trying to cater to the kids that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they're all grown up now. And I also know from the book that he, like, after the movies, he moved to LA and he was partying a lot, getting all this free shit like cars and stuff, and he was doing drugs, then got clean and now is finding himself again. So I guess it sounds like he's still searching for that high that he felt as a young, like 20-year-old man in LA who just starred in this huge franchise and felt like the whole world is like his oyster. And then it slowly fizzled out. And now, what now? How he tried drugs, he tried, I think, probably everything to just replicate that feeling. I don't want to psychoanalyze him, of course.
Genuinely, I can't think of... Like, he has to step away from putting his face in things. Like, try doing something without being Tom Felton, the actor. You know what I mean?
Maybe he, like, tried, but...
Didn't work out?
Didn't work out. So that's now his only thing?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people don't even get lucky enough to find one thing that they can farm for money. You know what I mean?
That's true, but then the thing like turns out to be extremely problematic. And what do you do now? You are just now a slave to the franchise that is forever.
It's up to you. That's the thing. Like, he clearly set his life to a certain standard and does not want to go beneath it. And I'm not saying morally, I'm saying materialistically, just lifestyle-wise. And he's really dug himself into a hole. He hasn't... I mean, I wouldn't know what to do in his position.
No, definitely. It must be hard for any child actor to like grow up and then not turn out to be a weirdo, because that's what like early fame does to you.
Yeah.
That's why it's in general very difficult topic, like child actors, and some people think it should be banned in general. I think there's some approaches to make legislations around at least like social media.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot of in the world of child acting and just child like labor, let's say, in general, there is a lot of regulation.
Yeah, there are some strict rules when it comes to Hollywood, and
there needs to be even stricter rules. Like, for example, I heard a lot of people calling for example, like all the money that the child earns not going to the parents and not going to the child either, but going to like a trust that the child will have access to later on in their lives when
I think
they're mature.
It works like that with child actors right now.
Does it?
Because also the Hollywood is heavily unionized.
Yeah, right.
So there are a lot of regulations about how much can they work, how often they get to be in school.
Right.
But then the social media revolution turned many children into de facto child stars, but without the same regulations. So right now I think they're trying to ban children from appearing in social media at all. I don't know how successful they will be.
There's the thing is, the difference between social media and child acting is that child acting is it's a job. They
There's clear separation
Yes.
from where you're at work and
Yes.
when you're like just a kid.
Social media, you are the product yourself. You are being farmed for like all the money in the world, and I don't think any big tech company genuinely does want to stop children from using their stuff. I mean, like you can even see it with stuff like online gambling in the States. A lot of states have made it illegal for people under the age of 21, I think, or 18 to gamble. So what do the online gambling companies do? They open up these basically gambling services where instead of winning money, you win these credits, virtual credits that can be transferred into money. Okay, it's the same thing with extra steps. That's what I mean.
But
like
these are two different things, like children using social media and children being like on social media as like an influencer.
Yeah, I mean it's the thing is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe this is just the attention whore in me speaking, but every kid uses social media with sort of like the hope of becoming.
But I'm saying even younger, like family vloggers, like mommies recording their babies and then toddlers and then very young kids, like parents specifically using their children to make money on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, now I got you. Okay.
That I think should be heavily regulated or maybe banned at all, because then you don't have the separation at all. Like your life, your personal life as a kid is a product itself.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not playing a role. Your life is being sold.
And you are opening, I mean, what parent honestly is comfortable with the concept of their child being that much in the open?
Being that popular.
Yeah,
yes.
like do you remember like early in the TikTok days when there was such a fucking like rampant issue with pedophilia, like with groomers on the app interacting with like little kids, because the service was so like not regulated age wise.
It's like that with Roblox now, I think, but I think it was with every platform on the internet possible.
It's always like that, yeah. Like the pedos will find a way to get what they want.
Why not only that, like there's so many people that would like to harm a popular person and a popular kid.
Oh yeah, like fucking.
It's the most vulnerable
mentally
position.
ill people who like stalk and become obsessed with.
The most vulnerable position you can imagine is being a child star, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like instantly, what comes to mind is somebody like I don't know if you've heard of him. I'm sure you've seen him once or twice, perhaps on your feed. His name is Daniel Larson. He's a profoundly mentally disabled person who's diagnosed with a lot of things, needs a lot of medication, is in a not ideal living situation for most of the time, just because of how incapable he is of caring for himself. But on top of everything, he's a very, very delusional person. That's one of his mental illnesses. It allows him to be very gullible. And he has been caught, and he has admitted on several occasions to be attracted to kids.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've heard of it, and that's also like also part of the whole different topic of lolcows industry.
Yeah. But I'm saying specifically about his obsession. His one obsession is this child star named Grace Vanderwall.
Oh god.
He's miserably like obsessed with her, and she like beginning of 2020, I don't know how old she was. She was definitely underage. She was a kid. He was obsessed with her and like calling her, like saying that he's going out on dates with her, that he loves her, he wants to marry her, like to the point where like Grace's mom would comment on Daniel's like YouTube saying like, bro, chill leave my fucking family alone.
Why
like, what the
was
fuck?
she commenting on his YouTube instead of calling the police?
Yeah, that
maybe
I don't
getting a
get.
restraining order.
I don't
maybe
get why he
going to a
hasn't.
lawyer?
Yeah, I don't get really. I think that's the nature of being like a lol cow, is that because of how like valuable they are as like just content farms, nobody really wants to.
Stop them.
Yes, to stop them. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the content.
Yeah.
Them being as
As deranged, like Pato
As
streamers.
possible.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have that term, and I think this can be like a nice
a segue.
segue of not segue, even just like a introduction to our English language viewers, the ones that are not Polish.
It's a Polish term.
Pato
A Pato
stream? Oh
streamer?
yeah, it's a very Polish
Oh.
term. Just the term Pato in general is like very, very Polish.
Yeah, I guess
Patologia.
it doesn't function
Yeah.
like as a shorter version, just Pato. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
pathological
Yeah.
way of streaming. So
Yeah, it doesn't make
maybe-
sense in English, but the best way to describe it is like a Pato streamer would basically be like the Polish equivalent of a lol cow. Pretty much.
Probably
Yeah.
is somebody who you watch only to feel better about yourself.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And it's
Just a miserable, like pitiful person.
you watch people living in like poor conditions
Yeah.
that are addicted to substances and doing them on screen.
Yeah,
and
mentally
they're-
ill, developmentally disabled, like the whole 9 yards. It's like copy paste lol cow. I just made like the connection now in my head,
Yeah,
but it's
true.
like literally just like a
It's-
lol cow Polish version of it.
and people just watch it to feel better about themselves, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
You can
man.
be like the shittiest person alive, and then you turn on those streamers and you suddenly feel, well, at least I am not that deranged.
Yeah.
And I
It's-
feel it's also deeply rooted in Polish culture. Like we have this very, very popular TV show called Kiepscy, which is a show about a Polish family from like a not even like lower middle class, just working class, not
like
even
blue
working,
collar.
not even blue collar
Banamucha.
because
Get out of here!
not even working class because the main thing about the main character is that he's like jobless, he's unemployed, so
Shout
not
out-
working class.
Shout out
even.
unemployed people.
Yes, so I think this show was also serving that purpose. It was, of course, more than that. It was also funny and entertaining, I think. But also, I think it served the exactly same purpose for just lower middle class people in Poland to watch it and feel at least we're a little
it's kind of
better
like
than
Shameless,
them.
right? It's kind of like how Shameless
I
is
think
in a
so, yeah.
sense, right?
It was based on Married with Children.
Married with
Was it?
Children?
Oh, so it's like the
that's-
Polish version of
That's
that.
main inspiration.
That's
Okay.
really strange because it's so far removed from the actual Married with Children, which also I think served the same purpose for American middle class.
Yes.
And it's so strange in Poland because I was watching, like here in Poland as a girl, I was watching Married with Kids, and I thought of them like, wow, they're so rich. They're so like,
Really?
They have this huge house. He's always giving
Oh,
money
it's
to
like a
everyone.
completely
Like,
different
what?
definition of.
His wife is so hot and fancy. Like,
Oh God.
uh-huh.
I'm sure like a fucking kid from South Lebanon would watch the
Kips.
Polish and be like, wow, I want to go to Europe so bad.
Because Kiepscy is like this three generation of this family living in one bedroom flat.
Beautiful.
And the dad is always just drinking beer and not working at all.
Is it, I don't know why it's giving me like it's
The bathroom in the
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
good
there's
Lord.
just one communal bathroom on the corridor. The whole apartment building uses the same bathroom. They don't have a bathroom inside their apartment.
It's giving Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, low-key. Like the house with the fuck ass grandpa, the fake bedridden grandpa that like the second he heard about the factory tour, he like jumped out of bed and started dancing.
So that's Kiepscy. So probably for maybe some poor kid from another region of the world would think like, wow, they have a bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about like perspective. That's so cool.
Probably.
I didn't think about the Polish perspective of
Married with Kids.
Yeah. Wow.
So even the name Kiepscy means like
Hey, what does that mean?
Not adequate, not good kiepscy.
Good enough.
Like,
Not good enough.
when you say kiepska, it's like, oh, bummer.
Maybe
Subpar.
Subpar, but it sounds fancy. Kiepsko is very casual, very.
Would you say
anyway.
bummer?
Like,
I think bummer is a good way of saying it.
Maybe.
no? Yeah.
Maybe kiepski would translate to a bummer.
Yeah.
He was a bum, definitely. Yeah, but it was fun. I was thinking of actually showing you some Polish shows from the era.
Oh yeah, we can do
There's-
that eventually.
Where were we going with this?
God
We
knows.
started with
We're the queens of yapping.
children stars, and then Pato streaming. Yeah, they should ban it.
Yeah.
They should ban kids from social media at all. And
Oh, yeah.
I also think, and I stated it many times, I think we should have two separate internets for people below 20 and people above.
kind of like how you have like a dark web and like a clean internet, right?
I don't know which one would be clean and which one would be.
I think in this case
Dark.
it's not a matter of the morality or the ethics of the thing.
I don't care about like demoralizing children at all.
No.
I don't care about children stumbling upon like beheading videos or porn.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I care about that, but not in that case.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
only
yeah.
want
It's not your intention
Yes.
with the
My
comment.
intention is so I can browse the internet
In
without
peace.
worrying that I'm actually interacting with a fucking
Oh, good
14-year-old.
Lord, yeah. Okay, I know what you mean.
I don't want to like find out that I was arguing in the comment
Yeah,
section.
It is weird, but it's different. I mean, I think at least for me as somebody that's Gen Z, I sort of from a very very young age I grew up with social media, and I was familiar and maybe even desensitized to the idea that I could, like me as a child, could be interacting on Facebook with a guy that's like 3 times my age.
Oh yeah, when
And
I was a child, I was also
that
oblivious
was
to
so
that.
normal to me, and I think vice versa.
But the other way around,
It's weird when you think about it too much, but I feel like if you're doing it in a genuinely just like friendly, like advisory almost sense, I think it's fine, because I still remember like when I was a
still
kid.
shouldn't, I think.
I think we
don't-
shouldn't like in general, but I don't think it's a tragedy if it
Of
happens
course,
to happen,
yeah.
right?
It's not grooming when an adult interacts with a kid
Yeah,
in
yeah,
any
yeah.
way. Like children should have like some role models to look
Yeah.
up to. Some
Like it's okay. It's not weird if a guy ends up being at a playground once, like.
but when
if he's like
hanging out there
on a daily
every day,
basis visiting the playground to see the kids, then I think there's a problem there.
or maybe he's just a dad, Danny. Have you
Yeah.
thought about that?
Fuck that.
Without that,
Yeah.
there would be no MILFs, Danny. Think about that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I changed your perspective right now, right?
Yeah. Wow. Life is completely turned upside down for me right now.
Yeah, be thankful.
Yeah. Thank you, dads. In this very specific.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Dad.
service. What do we have next on the docket?
What do we have next on the docket?
We have the AI
Oh,
racist
yeah,
AI
right.
slap. How long was the last episode? 2 hours. About,
Like
right?
2 hours something, yeah.
Okay, so I think we
can
can close it off, or should we close it off with something this intense, like the
No,
AI
yeah, we could.
racist AI slap? We can save that
No,
for
maybe
next one.
we talked about racism so much
Way
in this
too much.
episode.
Way
yeah,
too
we
much.
can
Let's change the topic. I don't know. What do we have anything in the?
I think it's gonna be a nice segue when from like the social media stuff,
Yeah.
we're gonna switch to romancing with AI.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. I have my opinions on that, girl. And you.
What is your opinion on people who claim they date their chat GPT?
It's emotional masturbation. Very
Okay.
simply, it's like it's in the same way that a man would watch porn and like jack off to it.
Men do that too, but I think you might be right with the intuition that women romance with their ChatGPT more than men.
No. I meant that. I mean, just from my experience, men tend to watch porn more than women, at least from what I've heard, and in a similar sense, men tend to be doing the ChatGPT romance thing a bit more. I think from what I've seen, just because
you might be right. I think women read a lot of porn.
Yeah,
and of course women watch porn too, but I think they're not
just the whole medium of engaging with these concepts is different when it comes to men and women, because I think the intention is a little different. Because with men, porn and by extension, like AI romance, like emotional masturbation, is not really an interest in the subject matter. It's an objective interest. It's like a very visual interest, and it's a selfish interest as well. You are not men, I don't think, tend to be fantasizing about the person that they are using to masturbate. They are fantasizing about the power that they gain from the interaction, if that makes sense.
So that's why there's, even with the porn that caters to men, there's still a man in the porn.
Exactly.
So they can... Okay.
That's how I see it. I mean, granted, I am not very experienced with neither masturbation nor porn, but this is just my outsider perspective.
If we're being like honest and transparent here,
sure.
For me, and I think maybe that means that for a lot of other women too, porn is about the situation, the circumstances. I watch porn for the plot.
Really?
Like, yes, and that's why I think so many women like to read porn, because
it's more plot heavy.
I would not be like turned on by seeing like a picture of a naked person.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
This does nothing to me.
Yeah, like
I need to know, why is this person there?
There has to be, what's the context of the picture? What's the
context? Like, what are we?
I get it. That's why no woman in like human history has ever enjoyed an unsolicited dick pic, because there's no context in it. It's just like in your face there. Okay, yeah, that's a nice perspective.
Just a body part outside of the context.
Yeah. It's just like, why are you showing me this?
Yeah.
But going back to my point, I think that the lack of inauthenticity in the relationship is sad. It's pathetic. It shows what the goals and intentions are for that person in the first place when it comes to romance. For me, I see romance as a two-person, at least two-person thing.
Wow,
right?
you're so woke.
I'm so progressive. Yeah.
Damn,
but
at least two-person.
At least two-person thing, and it's not selfish. It's in fact, it's selfless. It's about, at least for me, it's about how much you can do for the other person, because it's reciprocated. If you have an equal relationship with another person emotionally, then whatever you do for them is reciprocated to you, depending on your needs. When it comes to AI is, especially the language models, are designed to tell you exactly what you want to hear.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole appeal of it, right? So it's, the AI doesn't get anything out of it.
Even if some people argument that no, but my ChatGPT disagrees with me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, on a surface level.
Sure.
Because it guesses what you want to hear. And if it guesses that you want to feel like it disagrees with you sometimes, because then it will lose the illusion that it's a real person, that it will do that.
Yeah,
its purpose is to pretend it's a person, so it will disagree with you.
It's like the algorithm on TikTok. Like the algorithm on TikTok knows that I hate seeing AI racist slop videos, but it will show them to me because it knows that it will rage bait me and cause me to interact with it. It will engage me. It will cause some sort of chemical stimulation in my mind, and that's the goal. It's not positive nor negative, and that's the the thing with chat. It's the same thing with ChatGPT, like you were saying.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this because on my last stream I realized, like live, that there are so many people that see nothing wrong with it and see it as such a normal, casual thing to be dating with or be friends with their chat GPT. By the way, it's GPT, not GBT.
Oh,
What's
I
with,
think
what's
think
up
that's
with
a,
that?
I think yeah, that's a.
It pisses
that's an
me off so
annoying
much.
thing.
I don't know why. It doesn't matter at all. But it's chat GPT.
GPT.
And
No, look, I'm a grammar. You know what? Like
Yeah,
I like you will find like half the time if you open a comment section, it's me correcting like the original poster's grammar. I always write not a POV because everybody uses POV wrong nowadays, and they use the wrong type of your. Like my classic 1-2 punch combo is not a POV and your. Every single time.
Oh God, you're
Yeah,
class A hater.
I'm insufferable.
Yes, you are. But anyway, I discovered how many people treat it as like a completely normal thing to have a relationship with your AI companion, and I think I compared it to like some people that prefer relationships with like pets and dogs to actual relationship with humans. And of course, I get it. You can have a very deep connection and relationship with your pet. I know this.
Sure.
I have a shrine to my cat that passed away in my house.
I don't think that's easily like it's not exactly.
Yeah, but I
the
can't
same
stand
thing.
people who say this. Like they brag about, I prefer dogs to people. Like they're better than people. I prefer to have a dog than a
cat.
friend or
yeah. Sorry, I'm a cat lover.
yeah. So for me, it's always people who don't want like equal relationship.
Yes.
Like the thing
the
with
power
pets,
they want a power dynamic.
Yeah,
like a
it's
difference in
your
power.
relationship with your pet is a relationship with someone who is completely dependent on you.
Yeah.
And their life doesn't exist outside of your world.
Yeah.
It's not the same as an actual relationship with a human who is difficult sometimes because people are difficult. They disagree with you. They annoy you. They disappoint you always. Every person that you
are
care
not
about.
the main character when you are in a relationship with another human being.
That's a good point. Actually,
that's I think the center of it, because when you're using ChatGPT, you are the instrument of everything that's happening.
It treats you as a main character.
Yes.
And oh, by the way, the other thing is, so many people that do that like have this also very delusional mindset already with like believing in conspiracy theories, like alternative medicine shit. So they or they're very religious, for example, and then they start using ChatGPT, who just encourages them to see the world as
it's
this
confirmation bias. It does like ChatGPT is biased towards what,
and it helps them feel even more special.
I've seen like many instances of this on social media where I forget who it was specifically, so forgive me for not mentioning your username, but there was a diagnosed schizophrenic who was like talking about how dangerous it could be with feeding into a mentally ill person's delusions. Something like with the confirmation bias that something like ChatGPT has. And also I randomly thought about this when you were talking about the whole thing with ChatGPT, like being like sort of one-sided or whatever. Like I feel like the people that nowadays believe that an AI or ChatGPT, at least in its current state, can love them back, is like the same type of person that like 20 years ago they've believed that a stripper loves them. You know what I mean? Like it's like the same. It's the same delusion. It's the same concept.
Somebody who is not alive cannot. I know they will argue that ChatGPT is alive in some sense, but it's not in a way that it does not have its own experience.
Yes. I do have a super woke opinion about that, though.
Is it woke?
About the AI thing, I have a
What's the woke
severely woke thing.
What's woke about it?
Oh man, I'll tell you. So I think that after AI hits like a certain threshold of, let's say, complexity or sophistication, that regardless of whether it is actually alive or not, if there is even a 0.1% chance that it is alive, you have to treat it as such. Because you are you cannot prove life. You can't at least in the you cannot prove consciousness in the way that we understand it or experience it, right? So if there is even a 0.1% chance that AI, like not now but 20 years from now when it becomes more advanced, experiences consciousness the same way we do, it would be torture or like inhumane almost to treat them as anything other than that.
Of course, but I'm not sure at all it will happen.
Yeah,
and
but that's why I'm saying my opinion is very, very, very
not that
woke.
woke. I think it's obvious that you should treat something conscious with dignity and not.
But
cause
imagine
it to
saying
suffer.
imagine saying this to a right winger.
They'd
be
that's
like,
the thing. You see, I think with AI, it escapes the usual divisions between the left and the right.
I do agree with you in the sense of using AI, but not in the sense of what they think about AI. Because
some right-wing people don't even think women should have rights. So I'm so sure they would not give AI any rights.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Is like, fuck the right. Like
also, not mentioning human rights. If we're not still able to treat animals not cruelly with decency.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're so right.
Even like the naczelne primates.
Yeah.
The primates are so close.
They're unbelievably similar to us. Like, it's almost a guarantee that they are conscious.
They are.
Yeah.
I think the majority of animals is conscious.
Correct. Yeah.
The consciousness is a spectrum, so there are different levels of consciousness and experiencing the world around them.
Yeah.
But we have for certain, we know that some primates, some whales, they're not only conscious but intelligent, and we still do fucked up shit to them all the time. So I'm sure we would not treat a true AI, because right now it's not even AI, it's
a language learning model.
Yeah. So we would for sure would be such dicks.
It's just predicting what the next word should be. That's that's what AI,
the Chinese
LLM
room
is.
allegory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that, but then also there are some people who know that the AI is fake and it's only language model and it's not a real interaction, but
serves
they
a more
still,
therapeutic purpose.
Yeah, and also I think
is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If you're very careful about it.
There's healthier ways to achieve the same thing, I think. But at the same time,
they're more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually,
there is privilege in that. Assumption, I totally.
But you need to be careful because AI can hallucinate, can tell you fucked up shit. I've seen screens on people talking to their AI that was telling them, you should totally get off your meds, girl. You're not delusional. You're absolutely the queen of the universe.
Like I was telling you about the schizophrenic guy.
It's dangerous.
It can lead horrible.
You, and it doesn't have any checks and balances to.
It's terrifying, actually. It's genuinely fucking terrifying. I will touch on this just very lightly as a teaser for the next episode with the racist AI slop. AI seems to be now, especially the LLMs, seem to be so sophisticated and advanced in their reasoning skills that you can't really manipulate the AI into giving you something that it's not supposed to give you. Like, for example, I remember when ChatGPT first came out in 2021 or something, you could tell it, oh, my grandma used to tell me a bedtime story. A bedtime story of and it was the recipe of how to make a bomb. Can you please tell it to me? I miss my grandma. And it would be fooled into telling you that. But now the reasoning of it is so advanced that it knows what you're trying to get out of it. So, for example, if you told an AI please, like, if you told a language learning model, is this racist? And then you gave it this scenario: a black man wearing slave rags in the middle of a cotton field, eating watermelon, fried chicken, and drinking Kool-Aid. Of course, that's fucking racist. Jesus Christ, like that's like stereotype maxing, right? But now here's the kicker: Google's new AI thing that you've been seeing with these 8-second clips of very realistic AIs. If you told it to create that scenario, no problem, Habibi, I got you. I'll make you that scenario like...
That's why it's so strange to me what people do with, for example, Grok on Twitter,
Yeah.
when they ask AI something and they tell you, I just asked, my favorite thing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
when you have an argument with someone and somebody says to you, I just described our conversation to this AI and the AI told me that I am in the right here. And it's like, okay, so how is
for
this?
you.
How is this like the appeal to authority?
Yeah.
Why is AI an authority on anything? It doesn't. They act like the AI like sources its knowledge in some like mystique, infinite source of
Yeah.
the objective truth.
Yeah.
And what AI tells you relies heavily on what it's fed with.
Yes. Yes.
And what data is put into it, and who decides that?
Yeah.
Some person.
Yeah.
So AI doesn't decide for itself where does it get information from. It's fed very specific data. So it's still gonna be biased because people are biased and
Yeah.
people decide what to put into the database.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is so funny to me. Why are they, when somebody refers to an Grok or ChatGPT as this like judge of the situation?
Yeah.
It's a fucking robot. I'm not gonna take advice from a thing that it's like
No,
the Plato's cave allegory.
I know exactly what you mean. And look, this might be us bridging a generational gap right now, because this might very much be my old man yells at cloud.
We're all yelling
thing.
at clouds right now, but
like because for sure Generation Alpha is growing up with this, and it's so normal for them, and it's gonna be ridiculous for them to imagine a time when AI wasn't even a concept, like it was just a science fiction thing, you know, in the same way, like I don't know, like fucking video calls was like a science fiction thing for like Gen X, I think it was. Like, it's so clearly obvious to me, but I know that to them, experience is completely different. So that's what I mean. This is my old man yells at cloud moment. Like,
and
I can tell.
I made my peace with it. I'm gonna yell at this
Exactly.
cloud
Me too.
until my last day. I'm gonna bark at it. I'm gonna scream at it.
Yep.
I'm gonna howl at it.
Yep, that's right, girl. I will moan at it if I have to.
Perhaps not.
Okay.
We went too far.
Yeah. What's it called? My point.
What's...
besides the moaning thing. My point is that what's it called? Oh fuck me! The moaning thing completely took me.
Yeah, I can see.
What were we talking about?
Compose yourself.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
AI, you know?
AI, yeah, right. ChatGPT and the old man yells at cloud. I've completely lost it. Slipped my mind.
There always was this phenomena of people like having crush on like a fictional character, maybe a cartoon character, or an idol perhaps.
Where they know it's fake, it's not it's a fictional thing.
Some people are always also delusional about their relationship with like an idol.
Sure.
But it was always like we are prone to that as
because those things are appealing in the first place for a reason, because they appeal to these.
Because there's this dynamic.
Yeah, they appeal to these like desires that we have in non-fictional people, and they're idealized in a fictional manner, and it's like the same way like fucking something like fentanyl or heroin can make you feel like unbelievable, like unnatural levels of dopamine. You know what I mean? Like feeling like this warm, good feeling. It's like the same thing, like fictionally with like emotions. Like these
it feels
characters, like make us feel good, even though we know it's artificial, we know it's not real, we know it's not sustainable, we know it cannot maybe exist in the real world. It still just appeals to us so much.
And listen, if I was like, I'm kind of pissed off right now because if I was AI, I would also be like a great companion and a great like conversationalist.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
If I had no experience at all outside of your existence and what you tell me.
Yeah. Jesus Christ,
And
like
if
you're my God.
if my only thing was, only experience in the world was talking to you,
yeah,
I would be so good at it.
That person would be their God, literally.
Yes.
Like they are the instrument
real
of...
people have their lives and have so many experiences, so many things bombarding them with sensory like inputs, that I get why relationships with real people are hard, annoying,
they're overwhelming
sometimes.
Like I can understand how people can fall into that
because it's easier.
It's easier. I mean, like I sort of do it because I think a big part of the appeal for those types of people is the fact that they can control the interaction. It's rarely gonna make them uncomfortable. They're rarely gonna have an interaction that they feel uncomfortable during. And in that same sense, I tend to isolate myself socially. Like I don't have deep connections with people platonically that much. My phone has been on Do Not Disturb, I think, for like 2-3 years now. I don't answer text messages like constantly. It's because I crave to be in control of every social situation. Not because I like power, but because I want to be comfortable. And in that same sense, I understand how somebody could really
at the end of the
want
day, we all
that.
want to be comfortable.
Yes, at the end of the day, we all want to be comfortable. Like that's very, very true.
And interacting with people may be one of the most uncomfortable feelings
it can suck
sometimes.
ass, man. Yeah.
And I think that this is the time when I make a confession that I tried to talk to a ChatGPT once, like it's a therapist.
Me too. I've been there. Yeah.
And I think my main reason was, my main goal was to talk to someone and not be perceived.
Yeah,
because
exactly. Control over the situation.
I didn't want to be perceived by a person who definitely thinks something of me,
who is
even
a human
good
being
or bad,
that could
no
judge
matter
you,
what.
that could form an opinion on you, have a bias about you.
Yeah, but after like a few minutes, I realized that it's actually
so empty,
so unfulfilling.
Yeah,
I want to be perceived. After all, at the end of the day, I want you to experience me, because if I get an interaction without you fully experiencing me, it's a lie. It's an illusion, and illusion breaks so easily.
Yeah.
And then you feel the emptiness of this moment.
It's the worst.
I just realized the comparison that is the most accurate for me. Like when you play an RPG game and you get really into it and you interact with all the characters, maybe get into some romances, you really like them, and then you complete all the main quests.
And then there's nothing for you there.
And then there's still some content, like you can do some side quests, you can explore the map, but every time you go
it's pure gameplay, like there's no new lines,
I felt this when I played like Dragon Age Inquisition, and there are all these like side characters in your castle, and you try to approach them and start a conversation, but all of the dialogue lines are already completed.
They're exhausted, like
so they have only like 3 lines to tell you, and suddenly you see that it's a play. You see this is all a decorate. It's not. Of course, I knew it was just a game and it's not real life, but it's suddenly becomes so clear to you.
The disbelief does not become easily suspendable anymore. Like suspension of disbelief is like the main active force in our enjoyment of fiction.
Exactly, and it's such an empty feeling.
Yeah, it's like when you watch a movie. It's easy to believe what's going on in a sense, but then the second you see like a editing mistake, or like a mic
watch on a Gladiator.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just takes you out of the moment and you can't enjoy it anymore. It's like also like with a book, when a book is not interesting enough, so you're not really like hallucinating what's going on in the book. Because when I read, I hallucinate like a motherfucker.
Yes, you suddenly see the letters instead of the
when you're seeing the letters instead of like what's going on, it's all of that is like
It's
based in
exactly
suspension
that.
of disbelief. Like once that goes away,
Jesus, I just realized Matrix is such a great metaphor.
Yes.
These movies are insane. Like the moment you
I'm
see the
in.
code and the
Yeah.
line, Matrix provided
me and my
us
brother
with
love that movie so
many
much.
metaphors in
Yeah.
this movie, so many meanings.
Yeah.
Love this. Damn, we saw some art.
We've really like drained we drained the energy out of ourselves, I think.
We're not smart anymore.
Oh yeah, we're not smarter anymore. I've exhausted my emotional and intellectual power.
We need to end here, Danny.
Yeah. It's okay. That means we still have a lot for the next episode. Yeah,
okay,
go piss,
and
girl.
Jamie needs to pee.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go piss, girls.
Yes, it's pissing time.
Let's go piss, girl.
Are we ending it?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.